Welcome to Alphathoughts, where we talk about what's going on in this crazy innovation world.
We're coming on to you today from the Capgemini Innovation Center in San Francisco.
And today we're going to be talking about innovation theater. So Greg, tell us what innovation theater is, especially from a startup point of view.
So, I think when I think about innovation theater, I think about it's sort of this idea that companies do innovative work or talk about innovation merely to prove that they are innovative. And that can be any number of things, but it expresses itself in a lot of different ways.
And it's not always bad. There's a place for innovation theater, low-level marketing, recruiting, getting buy-in, proving out ideas. But we're going to talk today about the difference between innovation theater and real innovation.
So, Ruth, there's a lot of ways or motivations for innovation. Why don't you tell us about some of them?
Yeah, so motivations for innovation are to educate your company internally, to create adoption for new ideas or approaches, to drive R&D, that's new products, to bring in some business development, and for many innovation centers, it's to ultimately increase sales. And it's also to promote innovation within the company and put a groundswell out on a certain area that a company is trying to understand better.
And so the theater part really is, I guess, probably best measured by like how you measure success.
Yeah, you can see whether it's innovation theater when you stop right there at the activity and it doesn't drive real change and transformation into an organization.
All right, let's illustrate this with an example.
Yeah, I think a really great example of this is when corporations host demo days or hackathons. They can be great catalysts towards bringing in new ideas. They can create buy-in and adoption for new technologies, use cases. So in some ways they could be good, but oftentimes they feel so good that companies just stop right there. And I think startups can tell.
Right, like if the measure of success is, how many attendees did we have, right, or something like that, then that sort of seems like one of those vanity metrics as opposed to
that's an indicator of innovation theater.
As I could say as a founder, or as a startup person or a developer, if I'm there and there aren't people from like the engineering team present, if there aren't people from, if the company's not like got an integration path or a way to like making it successful, or to be deployed, or a stage or some kind of pedestal for that thing, then I think that's problematic as well.
And setting the right expectations, letting those participants know that, okay, it's not going to just stop at this demo day, but there might be 10 other meetings afterwards to get the end goal. Sometimes these participants show up thinking the demo day, and then there's the deal, the hackathon, and then I'm a product in the company's store. But the full story needs to be there. Otherwise, it's just innovation theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, lightning round.
All right.
Silicon Valley tours, innovation theater or not?
A lot of theater, because I think people are just coming largely to do osmosis and sort of like trying to absorb whatever that means.
You think they'll breathe the air?
Yeah, but I think if you go back, pull the thread.
Yeah, and it's good that people are getting out of the office and seeing how it's done. So another one, innovation theater or not, open workspaces.
Well, now the backlash is in, so I think open workspaces are definitely failing people. I think there's just a lot of dynamics inside of companies that we chose to say, great, well, this is how it's supposed to be and it's better this way, but we didn't do it. They took it, but it wasn't a good thing to take.
Yeah. And thought leadership, innovation theater, not.
Thought leadership is a touchy one, I think, right? Like, I think there's a lot of really good use cases and companies really do have a lot of expertise, but it's not always the case that you're espousing your best ideas.
Mm-hmm. I think it can be good when you're educating leaders internally and bringing forward new ideas. I think it can be bad if you don't use that thought leadership to truly authentically drive innovation into the company.
Yeah, and I think it's also highly dependent on the industry you're in, right?
Totally. So what do you consider innovation theater? What are some examples that you've seen in this crazy innovation world? And does it even matter that it's innovation theater?
We'd love to know. Tell us in the comments or hit us up. Bye.